Welcome to Mysteries, Myths, and Legends. I'm Taylor.
I'm Savannah.
And welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Yay. You just remind me of, the Addams Family.
Why? Because Wednesday?
Because Wednesday.
Yeah. You know what I'm excited for? The fact that Halloween's getting closer.
Oh, I know.
I'm starting to see posts, and it's like fall soon, and I'm like, yes! I love
Halloween.
Halloween.
I need to get out my, Halloween
decorations.
things, yeah.
Same. I have so many Halloween... I have more Halloween decorations than I have Christmas decorations.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that funny? We love that. So, first things first. Rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, please. Okay. I thought we should talk about our Bald Island trip that we took for my birthday.
Oh, yeah. This week has gone by so slow that I already forgot about it.
Oh, well, I thought it's gone by fast. But so we went to Bald Island for my birthday, and it was so fun. But literally the night before that, I spilled water on my phone, completely destroyed it. So my entire birthday weekend, I couldn't even have my phone with me, which was honestly, I won't lie, nice.
Yeah, see, it was like the universe telling you, you need to have, no screen time. You have to just enjoy your friends.
Yeah, and I did, and it was very fun. We had golf cart vibes, #cart vibes.
Yes.
So fun. It was really, we were living the Pogue life, if anybody out there has been watching The Outer Banks.
Yeah, definitely. Especially since we're in North Carolina, so we're
enough
close to the Outer Banks.
It was so fun.
A little too south, but you know.
Yes. Just a smidge. But yes, I have now gotten a new phone. Everything is good with that. So it was fun. And now I'm old. As old as Savannah.
Yeah, and I'm going to be older than you soon.
Yay. Yay. Things can go back to normal. Savannah being the grandma.
Yeah.
Okay. Last little intro topic. This is so crazy. So I sent it to you on TikTok. All my information comes from TikTok. Not really, but I love it. So basically, there was this TikTok of a woman saying this conspiracy theory about Dave and Buster's. Do you remember the video?
Yes, I saw that.
And I just thought it was so crazy. And I was like, we have to talk about it because I'm shook, honestly. So basically, this woman was saying that, her and her boyfriend, their go-to date night is to go to Dave and Buster's and just, play games or whatever. And they decided they were going to have a competition to see who could win, this neon sign, basically. And it was, 5,000 or something tickets. A lot of tickets that you couldn't win in one day. So, over time, they just saved all their tickets they won and were, competing against each other to see who would win it first. And eventually, the day came, and the girlfriend had won. She had gotten enough tickets to buy it. So, they went up there, and they were like, can we have the neon sign? And they were like, oh, we don't have that prize. And she was like, wait, what? Well, maybe they're out. So then she was like, can I have this other prize that was, also, a bunch of tickets? And she was like, oh, no. I mean, we don't have any of the large prizes that we show, that they never have them.
Rip-off.
They have PlayStations or Xboxes, for 20,000 tickets or something like that. They don't have those.
Okay, but I also saw in the comments that the lady must have just been lazy and didn't want to get it or something.
Oh, well, I
so
didn't
I don't
see
know.
that.
It could
what
be
do you
either
mean?
Way.
Lazy.
I don't know if the people in the comments were lying about that. They were like, oh yeah, she probably just didn't want to go get the prize.
What, from the back?
Yeah.
No, I feel like that cannot be the truth. I mean, maybe. But if anybody out there works at Dave & Buster's, let me know, because I want to know the truth.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to know too, because everybody wants to get those big prizes.
Exactly.
And then if you can't even get them,
exactly,
then what's the point?
And I also, I do have a Dave & Buster's card with 500 tickets on it, so.
Oh, seriously?
I do. So, if I need to just go get some small prizes if it doesn't exist. Crazy. Anyways, that's basically all the intro topics I have.
I have a sort of interesting one. Not really, but I'll just say it anyway. So I don't know if anybody can notice that the sound might be a tiny bit better. So my dad, he makes foam at his work,
the
works
foam
for a
maker.
a polyurethane company. So we just have foam laying around the house, and I was like, why have I not used this to try to muffle some of the background noises?
Yeah.
So yeah, now I have I should post a picture of my setup right now because it's ridiculous. I got these giant pieces of foam.
It
lined up
absolutely
right
is the
around
most
my
ridiculous
microphone.
sight I've ever seen.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
loves it.
So if you notice a difference, I guess let us know.
Yes.
Also, along with rating and reviewing, go comment on our YouTube and Insta too, because we'll reply to some of the comments. Like, you gotta just
Yeah,
go
talk to
for it.
us. Por favor. We need friends, so hit us up.
Okay, so you want to get into it?
Oh, yes, I'm ready.
Okay, so this story, I'm not sure if you've heard of this one. It's like a conspiracy theory. So
We love a conspiracy theory.
I guess it's sort of a mystery if we're going with our
Oh, yes.
our title. So this is a theory that Paul McCartney from the Beatles
Okay.
died and was replaced by an imposter.
Okay. I love this. I have heard of this conspiracy
you
a
have?
little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as we all know, the Beatles fans, like, you know, back when the Beatles were like they're still really big, but the biggest thing ever.
Yeah, for sure.
They were crazy. And like, you know, they were the first big boy band and they attracted so many fans compared to like other bands. And they actually like spoke to their fans directly, which is what people say like led to their success and like having so many fans.
Mm-hmm.
Because people felt like they knew them almost.
Yeah.
And I guess it was also around the time like TVs were starting to get big, so maybe that plays a part. And like the radio, obviously. And honestly, I think they were sort of like the template for boy bands after that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think so?
Yeah, I would definitely agree.
Like I was obsessed with One Direction, so I know
We
firsthand.
know we were obsessed with One Direction and
We
also
know
the
how
Jonas Brothers.
crazy- Yes.
We love a good boy band moment.
But like, weren't One Direction fans like crazy? Like I feel like
yeah.
Jonas Brothers, they weren't that crazy, were they?
Yeah, no, not nearly as crazy as like the Directioners. Speaking
Right.
of, we are going to see Harry Styles, so
Yeah, we are.
just had to throw that one in there. We're still Directioners in the heart.
Yes. But yeah, like I think the Beatles fans, like I don't know if they had like a fandom name like Directioners.
They were just the Beatles.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if they were crazier, but they were definitely like on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
So they were, you know, analyzing everything and they can look through all the details. And, you know, I guess for One Direction we had more things to look at because we had all these videos and the internet and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's even crazier that they were doing it back then, analyzing all this stuff when it's just like you're hearing it not on the internet, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely.
It's hard to imagine. But anyways, so they were crazy and they could like look through details and find things that like may not even be there, just like make stuff up, or like things that the band could be hiding or what they think they could be hiding.
Ooh.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, this rumor had started spreading in like the mid 60s, and then it took off in like 1969. So the main theory, the story that like everybody sort of goes with, is that on November 9th in 1966, Paul McCartney supposedly died in a car crash.
Oh.
Okay. And actually there is some sort of truth, but also not really. Because Paul McCartney did get in 2 crashes around that time.
Mm-hmm.
He crashed his moped in December 1965, and he got a chipped tooth.
Oh.
And in January of 67, somebody driving his car crashed it on the M1 motorway. So I guess they don't even know if it was him, but somebody in his car.
Mm-hmm.
But like not even the dates that people are saying.
Yeah.
You know, they say November 9th, but then, I don't know. The real proof is like different dates. But anyways, the story goes that the band like sort of got into a fight, and Paul McCartney, like, he stormed out. And then he drove away and ended up in a really bad car accident that killed him.
Oh.
And then the band needed to keep going because, you know, they're just getting famous.
Yeah, they were getting
pretty
big.
much. And so they hired a lookalike. And his
Okay.
name was Billy Shears.
Oh, they have like a real person who they. Oh, they have an entire conspiracy theory. Okay.
Oh, they really. It gets deep, Sailor. Okay. So people say that. So their manager's name was Brian Epstein. And he actually put together a lookalike contest before the supposed crash. And no winner was ever announced.
Interesting. That's really weird.
I know. And it was like a lookalike contest for like all of the members.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you look like any of them, you could enter it.
That's really
'Cause
weird
I guess
that they never
just-
picked a winner.
I know.
Or
yeah,
did
'cause
they
it's, like,
pick a winner and that's who Paul McCartney
exactly.
is?
That's what people say. Like, they found 4 lookalikes that looked exactly like all of them just in case something like this happened.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and the name Billy Shears that people came up with, fans actually got that name from one of their songs.
What song?
It was mentioned in like the intro song to the Sgt. Pepper album. I think it's just sort of like an intro. It's not really even like a full song.
Yeah. So did this person like actually exist?
I mean, it's like there's stuff online everywhere about him, but it's just all is connected to the Beatles, so I guess
Okay.
you can't really
Well, I mean,
tell
also, if he
did.
was like nobody, just like a random guy on the street, there wouldn't be like stuff, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So this conspiracy was even like out in magazines and stuff during the time. Like, it's kind of crazy to me. And even like artists like put out songs that seem to lean into the theory that Paul had died.
Oh, what?
There's a song called Brother Paul by this band called Billy Shears and the All Americans.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, there were other ones too, but I thought that one was the most interesting because I was like,
crazy.
that's just exactly. Yeah. So of course, like all of the Beatles like denied that he was dead. They're like, he's right here. He's not dead.
Well, of course they would say that.
And actually, Paul McCartney was knighted in 1997 for his services to music. And he was like the first Beatle to get knighted. I think, I don't know if they all did, but some of them did. And people believe that he was tied to the British government before this too.
Oh.
They say that the MI5, I don't really know anything about British government, but
Me
I know
neither.
that's like, I guess their government. I don't know.
Yeah.
They said that they're like behind the cover up.
Oh, okay.
Because like the government, like they couldn't let these crazed fangirls know that, you know, one of the Beatles died.
Yeah. I wonder if like, is that like Illuminati? Question mark.
Right. That's what. Yeah. That's like sort of what it's leaning into, I think. But I think because he was knighted, it like almost proves it even more because they're like, you know, you like know these people to get knighted. Like I don't know.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, that's why they say they covered it up because it would just be too crazy. Like
Yeah.
just be running around the streets like I don't know.
I mean, people would have gone crazy if that's like if he
I
actually
mean,
if they announced
yeah.
it. Like that would be
It would be crazy.
like that would be crazy. I can't imagine that.
So at first the rumor went around for a while, but then it like sort of died down. And then when it picked back up again, like I said, in 1969, it was actually a college student in Michigan who revived the rumor. So this guy named Tom, he called into a radio station and he started talking about the rumor. And he's like, Yeah, have you heard that like Paul McCartney was replaced by this guy? And
Why
the
would that
radio
be
guy
me?
was like, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "You should play this song called Revolution 9 backwards and you'll hear a secret message."
What?
So they did it on the radio. They played like the beginning of the song Revolution 9 backwards and it said, "Turn me on, dead man."
Oh, what does that mean?
Well, I mean, I don't really know, but they're just like, "Oh my God, dead man," you know? They're like, "Oh,
Oh
it's
my God, that
obviously
man, that's
Paul."
proof.
Yeah. But it's like, you know how it sounds when you play a song backwards and it's like sort of words, but it's just like said in
Yeah,
a
it's
weird
like
way.
interpretation.
Yeah. So it's sort of like that. But I listened to it and I could see where they got that.
Oh,
Um, and then like everybody heard this on the radio, like a bunch of people did, and it went crazy. They were like, "Oh my God, it's so true." Like,
I'm just thinking, like, if this happened now, we would totally believe it.
I know.
Like,
Like
no question.
seriously. Like let's start listening to One Direction songs backwards. We're gonna
Let's
hear
do
something.
it. They're gonna be like, Larry's real.
Exactly. No, literally. I forgot to mention that earlier, but I was like gonna use that as an example of
Yeah.
how crazy fangirls are.
Yeah, I
with,
was
like,
gonna mention
Larry
it
and
earlier
stuff.
too. I was like, let me not, but
I
Larry's
mean,
real.
I definitely looked into all that stuff.
Oh,
I'm
it's
not
real
gonna
if you ask me.
lie.
If you're not a directioner, you won't know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Need to know only. So anyways, after this incident on the radio, it sort of made people want to look for clues in songs more. So there's a whole list of clues I have here.
Oh wow.
So on the cover of one of the albums, the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album, people thought that the picture depicted a funeral.
Okay.
Do you know what it looks like?
Yeah, I do. I guess I'm gonna look it
Yeah.
up just so I can refresh
I
the
know. They
memory.
were like, yeah, that's definitely a funeral. And then on the back of the album, it was like all of the lyrics to the songs. And like on the vinyl thing, like sleeve for it. And George's finger is pointing to the words Wednesday morning at 5:00.
Oh.
And people say that that's when Paul was pronounced dead.
Oh. Oh wow. I mean, I could see it. Also, it definitely does look like a funeral, the album.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Like low key. Like
but
if
like
you
really colorful.
Yeah, very colorful, but like it kind of looks like where it says Beatles. It could like go look it up. People, you need to see it.
Okay, and then on the this is another album, on the White Album, track Revolution 9. This is the one where it's like when you play it backwards, you can hear "Turn Me On, Dead Man." And then in between two of the songs, if you play it backwards, you can hear John Lennon say, "Paul is dead man, miss him, miss him."
Oh. Okay, now that's a little bit more believable.
Yeah, I know. Like,
That's
it gets
weird.
kind of crazy. It's like you actually like I listen to these clips. Like
Does that one sound like that's what he's saying?
it does, but it's like, yeah. Like,
I mean,
like, I wish I could.
I feel like it's weird that it's like what are the chances of that, you know?
I know. It's like, what is he saying forwards that's making him say that
Right,
backwards?
right. Like I feel like that's a really weird coincidence that it says that backwards.
I know. Okay, so there's another one. At the end of the song "Strawberry Fields Forever," you can hear John say, "I buried Paul."
Oh. What?
But John Lennon, he's like, "Actually, guys, I was saying cranberry sauce."
Oh, that's one that I've heard of.
Oh, seriously?
Yes, that's specifically one that I've heard of. And I'm like, why would you be saying cranberry sauce?
I mean, they did have like some ridiculous lyrics, right?
You're right. But also, is he just saying that to cover it up?
See, you don't know. Like, could be.
Sure could be.
Okay. So, some more stuff. On the cover for Abbey Road, which is like the most famous Beatles picture.
Oh, yes.
If you don't know the Sgt. Pepper's one, you definitely know this one.
Oh, yeah.
You know, all of them walking on that road. So people say that that's a funeral procession.
Okay.
So John Lennon is wearing white because he's the preacher. Ringo is wearing black because he's the Undertaker. George is in the back and he's wearing blue jeans because he's the gravedigger. And then Paul is wearing black, like he's going to be buried. And he had a cigarette in his right hand, but he was left-handed.
Oh.
Which is like, I don't really know what that's supposed to mean. But, and he has no shoes on.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also out of step with the rest of them.
Okay, that's interesting. I've never analyzed it like that.
Yeah. Yeah, see, like, these fans went deep.
Okay, wait, so here's the question, and I don't know if you know the answer. What year was that album? Was that album released after he was supposedly dead?
Yes, all of these were.
Okay, so here's my question. I'm sure it's on there. Is he holding the cigarette in his right hand because his clone, or not clone, because his lookalike is right-handed instead of left-handed?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that might be why.
Okay. Interesting.
Maybe. Or yeah, like just because he's an imposter, you know?
Yeah.
Like even if his imposter is left-handed, it still could show like, oh, like I'm not.
Yeah, like I'm not him.
Yeah. Okay, and another thing from that same photo, there's a car in the background and the license plate in the background says 28 if. And people say it's because Paul would be 28 if he was still alive.
Would he be?
See, no, he was gonna be 27.
Okay. But
they're
maybe
close. They're close with that.
They were close. Maybe they thought the album was gonna come out later.
Maybe, I don't know.
I'm just trying to follow the conspiracy.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all I have for those clues in the songs and albums. But Paul McCartney, or his lookalike, is still alive.
Yes.
He's 79. Him and Ringo are the only Beatles still alive.
Yeah.
But yeah, so his lookalike would have to like sound like him and act like him for years and years after all this for this to be true.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's that like crazy of a concept because there's a lot of impersonators out there who sound.
I mean, that's true.
And like do everything.
But he's really like 79 and then he supposedly died in his 20s, so he's been living as Paul McCartney for longer than Paul McCartney did.
In fact, he might as well just be the real Paul McCartney.
Exactly, so at this point maybe he is. So I also saw a couple websites claiming that Ringo Starr, the only other Beatle still alive, as I said, he said that this theory is true and that Paul was replaced.
Wait, he actually said that?
Well, I mean, it was a hoax.
Oh, okay.
But
I was like,
I was gonna like lead you on for a minute, but you asked, so.
Sorry, you can't fool me, Savannah.
So the hoax was like, oh yeah, he said like they all panicked and their manager suggested to hire a lookalike for a week or two, and nobody noticed, so they kept it up. And he turned out to be a good musician, so they just kept him.
Oh my god.
But
That's
yeah,
so funny.
It was a hoax. It was from like a satire website or something. And then it just spread a little bit. So yeah, unfortunately, nobody confirmed it.
Dang.
So I also looked at pictures comparing Paul and like the supposed fake Paul, which people call Fall.
Paul.
They're like Paul versus Fall.
I'm so dead.
Oh my god. And honestly, like some of them look a little bit different, but then some of them look identical. So it's like it's really hard to tell. If he is a lookalike, then he really does look exactly like him. And his ears do look a little different in some pictures though.
Ooh.
Which is weird. Yeah, so I'll post a picture of that and you'll just have to see for yourself what you think.
Yes.
So there's also a website called billyshears.com. And it's like full of information trying to prove that this theory is true. And there's a book promoted on there, and it says that there's verifiable proof of the theory.
Oh.
So maybe I should buy the book and
I think we have
figure
no
it out
choice
for myself.
but to buy the book.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got for that theory. What do you think?
I was going to ask you, what do you think? I think, I don't think it's impossible that it's true, but I feel like the proof isn't really holding up for me.
The proof isn't in the pudding?
I think the proof is like beside the pudding, but I don't think it's in the pudding.
Yeah. So I think another theory was just that, like, they started this rumor just so people would analyze their songs and stuff, and like they put clues in there for just for fun. So that's another theory that people have.
Yeah,
and honestly, that could be true too.
It makes sense. Like, it does, because it also gets like more people talking about them. So like the fame,
exactly, and like
it's a good media strategy.
Yeah, I had something else, but now I'm just going blank.
Sorry. So, do you think this is the real Paul McCartney?
I think it is.
Okay. I also think it is, but I'm not saying it's impossible. It's definitely possible.
Yeah, And
here's where we bring in our first guest, Paul McCartney. Come on.
Oh my god.
If only. Do you know if people asked him?
Oh, people would bring it up to him all the time, and they were like, all the Beatles kind of got sick of it. They're like, guys, he's not dead.
Guys, this is Paul right here. He's standing right here.
Yeah.
That's so funny. That's crazy. I love that. I love a good conspiracy theory. So good.
I knew you were gonna. I was like, this one's just too crazy to not tell.
Yeah, that's so crazy. I remember a little bit sidetrack right now, but I remember when Free Britney was just becoming a conspiracy theory, and we were like, she's kidnapped, and I was like, I would tell people about it, and they're like, Taylor, she's not. Turns out she is. And we are known it to be a fact, so maybe one day it'll come out.
True. And I feel like back in like the 60s, it probably would have been way easier to do something like this.
Exactly.
Right?
That's a thing, because I'm sure they didn't imagine like us living life as we do today, where we just have every single information at our fingertips. So I don't know. I don't know the truth. Yeah.
And people say like, oh, it probably would have been so hard. You have to like convince all these people, or like all these people would have to be in on it. But like if he's a good enough actor, like, couldn't he just trick the family and everything and be like, I am him?
Right. Like, how would they know? Also, like, because he was in his 20s, like, people still are like changing physically and stuff, like in their 20s. It wasn't like he was grown. So like, I don't know.
Exactly.
I think it's at least plausible, which is crazy.
See, this comes from us who were like conspiracy theorists for our own boy band. literally.
Maybe we have now turned into that conspiracy theory podcast that you see on movies. But I think it's true.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Could be. Crazy.
Okay, well, I'm really going to change it up right now. The vibe.
Okay, I'm ready.
So...
Oh god, is this gonna be scary again?
Yeah, it's scary. You know I'm gonna do a scary
Taylor.
one. I'm so sorry. This one's really crazy though. I feel like you might have heard of this before. So, but maybe not. Unsure. But I am doing the Legend of the Night Marchers. Have you ever heard of it?
Wait, is this in Hawaii?
Yes, it is in Hawaii.
Okay. Yes, I do.
Okay, perfect. So, yes, this legend comes from Hawaii, and in Hawaiian mythology, night marchers, who are also sometimes called spirit ranks, are deadly ghosts of ancient Hawaiian warriors. Dun dun dun. So this legend says that the night marchers are like average-sized warriors who are dressed for battle, and they carry spears and clubs, and some are beating war drums and blowing like tones or like music, out of like a conch shell. And they like play the drums and make music from the shells to like announce their like arriving into like the march. So yeah. They're also known as the Phantom Army, which I think is a really cool name. Would probably be a really cool name for like a dance group.
Wait. Like the Black Parade almost.
Yes. Yes. We love it. Okay, but here's the crazy part. So like this is literally an army of ghosts, right? Like these people, these warriors were once alive and now they're dead, but their ghosts come up occasionally to march together.
Right.
So, but the people who have seen these warriors, they say, everyone says that the warriors are suspended in air and that while they are marching, their feet never touch the ground. Like as they march on. So they're kind of just like floating, kind of.
Okay, so they're like close-ish to the ground.
Yeah, they're very close to the ground, but like they're not touching it. So that is very creepy.
Do they look ghostly?
No, they look real.
Oh, so they just look like real people, but they're floating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're dressed like in this huge, like, just like just imagine warriors dress up. That's exactly what they look like. And so, but because they are floating, they never leave any evidence behind that they were there.
Oh, right.
Yes. Because they're ghosts and they can do what they want. So it is said that the night marchers will come out on the nights that honor the Hawaiian gods. So there's a bunch of nights. I'm not going to name them all. There's a lot of Hawaiian gods. So, but on these nights, that's when they come up and do their march. And it's said that on these nights, they will rise up either from their grave or from the ocean to make this large group. And then, like, they march together to battle sites or other sacred places on the island. So, as you can imagine, the people who live near these burial sites or other sacred places or battlegrounds, they are the people that see and hear these ghosts.
Right.
So, spooky. And anybody who lives on their path also hear chanting. They'll hear people like marching, drums, all the things. And apparently a death-like odor will also fill the air when they're around.
Oh, no.
So, stinky.
Oh my god. Wait, so do they say the same things every time?
They're chanting in ancient Hawaiian. So
And it's like... Yeah.
I'm assuming they're saying the same things, but I also don't know Hawaiian. So.
Right.
Or whatever language it might, I don't know. But people also claim, so they also carry torches. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. But as they get closer, a lot of people, like the most common sighting is that they will see people carrying flames and they'll get closer and closer as they like obviously move closer to them.
It's like angry mob vibes.
Right. It's like Beauty and the Beast. The angry mob.
Yeah.
That's all I'm
picturing.
picturing.
The pitchforks.
Yes. Well, they have them.
Oh.
They have spears and pitchforks and all the things.
Okay.
All the weapons. Yeah. So, the night marchers also, they only come out at night. So they'll come out at right after sunset and they will march until right before sunrise. But occasionally it's said that they can appear during the day only if they are being an escort to a dying relative to the spirit world. So to like guide them over as they die, which I think is cool.
Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah. Nice, the little murder ghost.
Okay, but you said if they're like related, right?
Yeah. No, they don't hurt those people. Just other people.
Yeah, so like for them it's like...
Yeah, for them it's nice.
It's nice.
So ancient Hawaiian beliefs say that any mortal who looks at or is being defiant towards the marchers will die a very violent death.
Oh no.
Big yikes, if you ask me. People have tried. So people obviously don't believe that this is true. But everybody in Hawaii, this is very important. They emphasize, like I'm emphasizing this so hard, that people in Hawaii believe that this is very true. Like this is not a legend whatsoever to them. It's very real. And that makes me, I do very much so believe that this is real. So completely opposite to the conspiracy theory we talked about.
Right.
This is real. I'm just gonna put it out there. It's real. So, but obviously some people still don't believe it. So people have tried to put stuff in the path that they know that they're supposed to march through.
Okay, why? That's
Because
just so
they're-
disrespectful.
Yeah, because they're mean. I don't know. They're like trying to stop them from doing what they need to do, which is messed up, even
Okay.
though.
Then they clearly do believe it.
Exactly.
Right?
I guess that's a good point. I do. Guess that's a good point. But the stuff that they put in the path, it doesn't stop them. Like, it doesn't stop them at all. I mean, they're ghosts. Like, what were they expecting?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah,
I
no, it is
guess.
good for them, maybe. But you do not ever, under any circumstance, want to see or come in contact with these marchers. Ever. Period.
Okay, is it only people who aren't Hawaiian, or even if you're Hawaiian, you don't want to?
I'll get into more of that later.
Okay.
So we'll just put a pin in that for now. But
Right.
so it is said. So basically, if you see these, if you are very close to this, you're dying on the spot. On site, you're dead. Because mortals are not supposed to look at these night marchers. Period. But it's said that if a mortal lies face down on the ground, motionless, like basically pretending to be dead, and show proper respect and fear, your life may be spared. It's not given.
God.
Like, not like, oh, you can lay down and play dead. You're safe. No. Maybe you're safe. They decide on a day-by-day basis.
Okay, that's terrifying.
Yeah, this one is definitely, although I obviously want to go to Hawaii, this is not on the list. Period. So yeah, if you hear any drums or chanting, in the night when you're in Hawaii, maybe just, stay inside.
Yeah, probably a good plan.
Yeah, but there is one other way that you can stay alive. And this one, you really got to be lucky for this one. So basically, if you come in contact with the night marchers and your ancient ancestor is one of the marchers, you're protected.
Okay. Okay, so it does go back to if you're like native to there.
Yeah, I guess.
Or if you're lucky.
If you're lucky. So, yeah, tourist, I mean, I'm sorry, but you're screwed, honestly. Unless you have Hawaiian roots somewhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but so basically, when one of these night marchers would recognize an ancestor, or that they were an ancestor to you, they would call out mine in Hawaiian, and none of the other warriors would mess with you or touch you or do anything. So, again, if you're lucky enough, you can survive that way. But, I don't know. The odds are not in your favor of that one.
Yeah.
Or at all, really. If you come in contact, I mean, like, there's really nothing you can do.
Okay, is there a reason why they do this?
Yes. Also going to get into that later.
Okay.
But the legend also says that planting living shrubs around your house will keep away all evil spirits and will cause the night marchers to leave the area and go a different way. So, I don't know, plant some shrubs and then you might be safe. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, and if not, then you have some shrubs.
Yeah, exactly. It's a win-win, really. Oh, also, this is a really, really creepy fact, okay? Really, really creepy fact. Not a fun fact. Not at all. Night marchers are said to literally walk through houses that have left their doors open. And they will walk in a straight line through your house if your door's open.
Oh, no.
So, do not leave your doors open if you live in Hawaii. Or if you're visiting Hawaii in the nighttime, don't do it. I don't know what psychopath would leave their door open at night anyway. But
Right. Yeah. I
don't
thought
do
you were
it.
going to say, if they build a house in the path, they're just going to go through it.
Oh, well, that might also be the case. Because, I mean, they can go through anything that's in their way. So,
Yeah.
but basically, if you leave the door open, they're definitely coming in your house. And I wouldn't want that.
Jeez.
Not at all. Okay, so a little bit of the history on why this happens to answer one of your questions. So this March, when these warriors were alive, it was very customary in the past to honor the king or the chief of the tribe. So if the king at the time was known to love music, Warriors would chant or play the drums for him. But if he loved peace and quiet, they would march around as quietly as they possibly could, but still march to like honor him. So basically this is done to honor the king.
Okay.
And also if he didn't want to walk, the warriors would carry him.
Oh.
So,
Love that.
typical things. According to ancient Hawaiian lore, the laws declared the king's body parts to be sacred and to never be seen by a mortal. And so and the punishment for looking at the king was instant death. Now, what is instant death, you may ask? Well, simply, it is just bolts of intense light and flaming heat originating from all of the warriors' eyes, and it will incinerate the person on sight.
What?
So basically they have laser vision.
What? That's insane.
I know.
Are they like Thor?
I mean,
I'm
yes.
trying to think of something.
Like,
it's like lightning
kind of.
god.
Like, kind of. Like, they're honoring the Hawaiian gods. So, like...
Yeah. That's insane. They have, like, laser vision.
I know. And, like, so literally, if a mortal sees them, this is why they die. Because the king, obviously, is walking with the warriors. Mm-hmm. But because he is never to be seen, he walks in the middle of the warriors.
Okay.
So, he's in the group. So, that's why you can't see these people.
That's
period.
So weird that...
I know. It really is.
I don't know. Not being able to see someone just, like, makes you think, like, okay, I gotta try really hard not to see him, but now, like...
But now I want to see him. Exactly. Yeah. It's just like, again, here I'm going to reference one of my favorite movies and books that you haven't seen, but in Percy Jackson... Medusa is a character, and obviously you can't look at Medusa because you'll turn to stone, but everybody's like, but she's the prettiest person and we have to see her, and they all look at her and then they turn to stone. Spoiler alert, but yeah. So kind of the same thing. The more the people say don't do something, the more you want to do it. But don't look for the king when you see the night marchers, because you're not surviving.
But it's like, how do you know what he looks like if nobody can see him?
I mean, I'm assuming he would be in different, like, clothing,
That's
like, he wouldn't be in the warrior fit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know. But some people even say that these marches are occasionally joined by the Hawaiian gods themselves. So it's just like a big party for the gods. And sometimes they're like, you know what, we're going to join the party. Which is crazy. Crazy. But in the marches where the gods are walking with the warriors, their torches are said to burn brighter.
Oh.
So you kind of can tell when the gods are with them. So to sum things up very quickly, night marchers, literally a ghost procession who can like kill you instantly in their presence. So unless you maybe can be as still as you can possibly be and pretend like you're dead, or maybe they're one of your ancestors, but like, what are the odds of that happening?
So, so is the emperor or the king, is he a god?
No, but kind of. I mean, no, he's not a god, but like they have to respect the king and the gods. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I couldn't really find like how long this dates back to, like when they were actually alive, but a very, very, very long time ago. So.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder how many there are, though,
I know. I'm assuming a lot, though, because...
So it's like all of the ones that have died?
Yeah, all of them. And I didn't list them out, but there's like 10 little islands. So basically they're seen on all of the islands of Hawaii.
Oh.
Yeah. Like almost all of them. In all of like the really popular places, and some of like the really not.
So do you think there's multiple generations of the kings too?
Yes. Yeah. Like there's multiple. And so that's why like there's marchers in different cities because they're all with different kings.
Right.
So like these night marchers are seen like everywhere because there's like different groups of them.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it really is crazy.
Okay. I kind of want to see them, but I don't at the same time. Because
no, me too. I know. But let me get into some stories of people who have seen them from far away, but have survived.
Ooh, okay.
So this is the way that I would want to see them. survive.
Definitely.
But, okay, back in 1995, a man by the name of Ricky, so he was a security guard at the Cage Shoot building in Honolulu. I don't know where that is, but somebody might. Who knows? But he claims that on the night of July 5th in 1995, him and his girlfriend were visiting their friends who were camping at Makuli'ia Beach. Didn't say that right, probably. Sorry. But
It sounded semi-right.
well, thank you. I tried. But so he had just got off work, Ricky. He was a security guard. He had just got off work, and so him and his girlfriend were like taking the trip out to meet their friends at the beach, and they got there between 10 and 11 p.m.
Okay.
And so they were just, chilling on the beach, and they were planning to camp on the beach, which sounds fun. Maybe if you don't see a ghost army, but so they were just chilling, and a distant flash of light caught their eye, and they describe it as looking like a bunch of fire ants marching down the mountain by Dillingham Airfield, if anybody knows where that is.
My God.
So they were like seeing this group marching with torches from like really far away coming down the mountain. And yeah, so at first Ricky just like assumed it was like people hunting at night or something. He didn't just assume that it was the night marchers. But once he saw how many people were coming down the mountain, he knew it wasn't just hunters, because they were just continuously coming, like a big, huge group of them. They just kept coming, more and more light. So luckily enough, he had remembered, when he was a kid, this legend going around, and he was like, oh my God, like that might be, like, he was like, I don't want to sound crazy, but that might be the night marchers. We got to get out of here. And luckily they had enough time, and they were far enough away from them to pack up and go. So he has no doubt in his mind that that's what he saw that night. And he has never returned back to that beach, because he said that he does not want to test his fate.
I mean, I wouldn't either.
No.
You already saw them there once.
Absolutely not. No.
Ooh.
And like that was right beside the airfield too. So like a battlefield.
Oh, yeah.
So like that, it makes sense that they would be there. So I'm like, crazy.
So I guess they probably have to be close enough to use their like laser eyes on you.
Yeah. So basically they're not going to just hurt you from like miles and miles away. You have to like see them. And then once you see them like up close.
Yeah.
Like basically when you get close enough to potentially see the king, that's when the problem is there. So yeah. So another story that I found was one on Reddit. So could be true, could not be true, who knows? That's the whole podcast. But so this person said that they used to live in Keohau, potentially, sorry about the pronunciation. But they used to live in this like apartment complex across the street from the Sheraton Hotel in Honolulu. And some nights they would see lights like from the Sheraton Hotel, like having a luau for the guest. So they lived, in Honolulu. That's a huge tourist area. And they lived across from the Sheraton, which I'm assuming, like in other cities, is like a very, very nice luxury hotel.
Right.
So they would have luau's for the tourists or whatever some nights. And so, this person, they would see the luau's going on, whatever, typical. And some nights, obviously in luau's, there's also drums. So just, setting up the story a little bit. But one night, this person said that they heard some drums, but it sounded different. Okay. They were very used to the luau lights and the drums. They're like, this one, I couldn't really pinpoint like what was different about it, but it sounded different. So they decide to go look out the window, see how the luau was popping that night, because that's what they assumed that it was. And all of the lights were off, and the side of the hotel completely dark. So they were not having a luau. No luau whatsoever. And apparently this is very close to another battlefield. And
why would they, I mean, I guess you don't really know, but like, why would they build a hotel right there?
Well, I don't know, it's just like in downtown Honolulu. Like,
yeah,
I know.
No.
I know. So, they keep looking, because, I mean, obviously everybody in Hawaii knows this story. They know the possibility that this is going to happen to them.
Right.
But this person said they never saw anything. But after that, on a bunch of nights throughout the years, they would hear drums. The weird drums, not the luau drums. So, crazy.
Oh, no.
But yeah.
I bet they went and locked their door.
Oh, they got in bed and they went to sleep. They were like,
closed
nope.
their blinds.
Nope, I'm not looking at any of this. Yeah, so that's pretty much all of this story that I have. But I was also going to mention that I have a friend who lived in Hawaii, and they said that Hawaii is one of the most haunted places, like, ever. Obviously, there's been a lot of death there, a lot of battles, a lot of history gone on there.
Mm-hmm.
And today there's like a big, huge military base, which they lived on. And there's a lot of haunted stories that take place in Hawaii. So maybe we'll cover them some more. But
yeah,
that's
crazy.
That's pretty much the legend of the Night Marchers.
Last week you did a story where I didn't realize how creepy the city actually was. And like this time it's like, I didn't realize how haunted Hawaii is.
Right. Right. Hawaii is like top 3 dream destination list on my list. But like it's so haunted. Mm-hmm. And like the fact that these night marchers, like I am a night owl, first of all. And if I'm in Hawaii, I'm staying up all night.
Yeah, you definitely
But I don't want to see these night marchers. I really don't. I do. I want to see them so bad from far away. But like...
Okay, I don't want to see them. I want to hear them.
Okay.
Because if you hear it, nothing happens, right?
Yeah. I would be okay to be on the beach and see them coming down the mountain.
And then run away.
And then run as fast as I can possibly run.
Yeah.
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 Because, it's so scary. Like, it's so scary. Like, instant death, excuse me, I don't want to instantly die.
I know. Like, is there a way you could, like, pay respects to them, or you literally just...
Yeah, so...
not see them?
Yeah, so, like, if you lay face down on the ground, don't look at them and pretend like you're dead.
Okay, but that's paying respect.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, that's what they take as respect, because you're trying your absolute hardest to not look at them. Like, that's their thing of respect, is like, you're not going to look at us.
Okay.
But that's also all that I want, is to see them. So.
Yeah.
It's kind of a problem. But. I don't know. I just don't know. But I do want to see them. Real bad.
Yeah.
So. I don't know.
Maybe one day we'll be able to go to Hawaii.
Yeah. No, not maybe. We are going to Hawaii one day.
Hawaii... Okay, this is side note. Hawaii has a bunch of, like, awesome animals that are only there.
Ooh, like
That's
what?
so crazy. Well, I mean, I don't really know, but they're all... like, I do remember learning about that. They have, like, crazy birds and, snakes and fish and stuff.
I don't want to see a snake. I'd rather see the night marchers and instantly die.
I'm pretty sure some of them have crazy names, so that's why I don't really remember.
I got you. That makes sense. I don't think I've ever even heard of weird animals in Hawaii.
Yeah, they have a lot of tropical animals that are, like, only there.
That's so fun. So fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, please go rate us and review us on Apple Podcast. Check out our Instagram for pictures of these night marchers and of Paul McCartney. Or not Paul, or Fall McCartney.
Paul and Fall.
I can't wait to look at the differences. That's what I can't wait to do.
I need to find a good one comparing to, because
you do.
I don't know, there were 1 or 2 good ones.
I'm trying to play spot the difference. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's funny. But yeah, I don't really have anything else, do you?
Nope.
Okay, well, see you next week.
Okay, cue the music.